go. So those nice, deep Ujjayi breaths go way down here into our lower ribs, nice and slow, and filling everything up, and then letting it all go, right? So that we're working on lung capacity strength as well as just relaxing our nervous system, getting rid of all the chatter that goes on in our head. There are so many benefits to just taking a minute multiple times a day and breathing. Let's walk our hands over to the left edge of the mat, just barely off. Take the right hand on top. Lift your hips and give a little push there into the right side body, ribs, and a few big deep breaths right there. And then let's go all the way over to the other side. And this time the left hand's on top of the right. Lift and press into the left side body. And then let's come right back to center, way up there on your fingertips. Drop your forehead to the mat. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. And then release your hands to your lower back. Interlace your fingers. Easy extension. So maybe it's not a full extension, or maybe you've got a strap or a sock there. And just a little push there. Just bring the shoulders back and away from the floor. Just take a couple of breaths. And release nice and slow. Coming up onto all fours, shoulders over the hands, hips over the knees. And let's get right into our cat stretch. So driving the belly muscles up, tuck your tail, tuck your chin. And as you inhale, lift the tail, the chest and the chin, kind of pull your shoulders away from your ears. And let's do that again. Exhale, tuck the tail, tuck the chin. And inhale, lift the tail, the chest and the chin. Let's do it again. Exhale. And inhale. And one more time. Exhale. And one more time. Inhale. And then we'll find that halfway spot between the two, extending the right arm and the left leg. So we're in this cross extension, a little slide towards center and a lift away from the floor. And then bring your elbow and your knee and just kind of tap them there in the center. I'm lifting away from the floor, so I'm squeezing these core muscles a little bit cat-like. And then inhale, lengthen it back out. Good. Exhale and lift away from the floor. Squeeze your belly and inhale, lengthen. Do it again. Exhale and inhale. And again, exhale and inhale. And two more. And on this last one, let's just give it a little extra hold right here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Full extension. Lift, 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 and release. Switch to the other side. Cross extend, hold, find the center line, lift away from the floor. Zip these core muscles in. And here we go. Tap and extend. And again, tap and extend. And again, tap and extend. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, hold this one, exhale, lifting, and extend, and release. Good. Come back to your cat stretch, pull the belly muscles up, tuck the tail, tuck the chin. Inhale, lift tail, chest and chin. And this time as you exhale, push into the tops of your feet and lift your knees off the floor, taking your forehead towards your knees. You're still in the tops of your feet, and release. Just do that one more time. Here we go. Exhale, pressure into the tops of the feet. Forehead to the knees. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Tap your feet out a little bit like that. And then tuck the toes under and find yourself in downward dog. So we're gonna walk this out first, bending the left knee, pressing the right heel back, and then switch, and switch, and switch, and switch. And then bend both knees. Drive the heels back, but keep your knees bent. So I'm pushing my head towards the floor, right? Getting as much rotation here in the shoulders as I can, getting my ears between the biceps. And I'm looking for that rotation of the shoulder where the pit of the elbow goes forward and I'm anchored into my pointer and my thumb knuckle. Really work that this morning. Yeah, and keep the knees bent and get way back there. Way back there. Yeah, and take another breath and drive the heels back. And finish this exhale. And then walk up to the front edge of your mat. Feet about 2 fists or hip width apart. Grab hand to elbow. Let your head hang and then just a little movement here. And relax your hands down on the mat. Press your feet in and come all the way up to standing. Big inhale, reach up. Bring your hands and your feet together. Biceps on your ears. Take a little side bend here to the right. So we're going to squeeze our belly muscles in, lengthen, look up. Create some space there. Take another breath. And then come right back to center and let's go to the other side. Lengthen, drive the belly muscles in, look up. And inhale right back up. Get really tall, reach up, reach up, reach up. Maybe even lift your heels. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice long spine. And let's step back to downward dog. Big exhale, knees are bent. Light in your toes, heavy in your heels. Checking that rotation through the shoulders. And on the inhale, come into your high plank. Good. And on the exhale, take your knees down, chest down, belly down. Feet a little bit wide. And on the inhale, we'll go up into cobra. And down nice and slow. Let's do that again. On the inhale and lift. So shoulders are going back, elbows are going in, tail down, belly in, and release. Let's do it one more time. Here we go. Inhale and lift. Get light in your hands. We're going back, 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 and release. Hands back around your waist. 1, 2, 3, lift. Tail down, belly in, and release. Hands back, palms down, thumbs pointed away. 1, 2, 3, lift upper body, lift lower body. Squeeze towards center line. And release. Hands under your shoulders, push back up onto all fours and right back into child's pose. Take a couple of breaths right there. And then bring your elbows as close together as you can, the palms of your hands together, and then just rest your thumbs at the back of your neck. Take a couple of breaths right there. See if you can lengthen through the armpit, through the side body. And release. Nice. Back up onto all fours and then right into downward dog. Again, knees bent, right? Kind of focus on the driving through your heels. It doesn't mean that they're on the floor. We're just driving back away from the toes. Shake your head a little bit. And then walk, hop, or step. Find the front edge of the mat. Big inhale, lengthen your spine, and then exhale, fold. All the way up to standing, big inhale, reach, look up, lengthen. Maybe there's a little lift of the heels there, and then right back down, forward fold. Inhale, create length. Exhale, step back to downward dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga on this one. So a little push forward, knees down, elbows in. Inhale, up dog. Hang out here. Take a couple of breaths. So my knees are on the mat, toes are pointed back. I'm rotating the shoulders, open the elbows in towards my ribs. Tail down, belly in. Focus on that. Tail down, belly in. Take another breath. A little bit more. Top of the head, up, up, up. And now tuck the toes, move from your core. Push back to downward dog. Finish that exhale. Look forward. Hop or step. Big inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. All the way up. Lengthen, reach. And exhale, float. Halfway lift. Right into chaturanga this time, so we'll skip the downward dog. Feel free to be on your knees, elbows in. Inhale, rotate, tail down, belly in, look up. Exhale. Shake your head. Hop, step, or walk. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. All the way up. Big inhale, look up, reach up, lift your heels, and exhale, float it down. Inhale, lengthen. Nice. Chaturanga. 2 up dog. 2 downward dog. Nice. Go ahead and lift the right leg up nice and high, kind of kicking through the heel. And then place the foot right between the thumbs. Take your left knee down to the mat and just kind of drive your hips forward. A little pressure in the top of the foot. And if you can, lift that back knee up off the floor. So the pressure's in the top or the shoelace part of my foot. And I'm just using my weight to kind of work my way into that hip flexor. And then come down nice and easy. And we'll do the same thing with the hands on the knee. It'll be a little more aggressive. So pushing forward, my mass is going forward, and then I pressure into the top foot and take the shoulders back away from that front knee. Yeah, really waking this up, right? Hip flexor, quad, and then down nice and easy. Take a breath. Now we may or may not take the arms up alongside the ears. There's the pressure in the top of the foot. Now you go up or you don't go up. If the intention is there, the result's the same. If the intention is there, the result is the same, right? So you put pressure into the top of the foot. If the knee doesn't lift, you're still getting the same result. And eventually it will. Hands down alongside that front foot. Tuck the toes and press back. And you just feel that opening, that awakening of that left hip, right? Alrighty, let's go ahead and kick the left leg up. Step it through the hands, take the right knee down, give a little pressure forward, so mass is going forward. That front foot is nice and flat. Pressure into the top of the foot and just lift the knee. I'm sure you can all get there, right? And a little pressure into that side. And release. Hands on the front knee. Again, mass moving forward. Pressure into the top of the foot. Go, go, go. Shoulders back, hips forward. Take a breath. And easy release. Reach the arms up. Look up. Get that rotation, right? That pinky fingers in, the thumbs out. The gaze is up. As you take that pressure into the top of the foot, may or may not lift up. Right? Working towards it. And release. Hands on either side of the front foot. Step back to downward dog. Inhale, high plank. A little move into your toes. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Really open it up this morning. Exhale, downward dog. Finish the exhale. Look forward. Hop, step, or walk. Halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Let's come all the way up to standing. Reach and look up. And on the exhale, come halfway down. So a little bend in the knees is nice. Palms down, thumbs pointed away. A little push forward, right? So I'm just barely out of my heels, right? Tail is up, soft knees. Right hand across the left foot. I like to tuck it underneath there if that's accessible. Otherwise, around the ankle or around the outside of the leg there. Left hand reaches up. So I'm going to bend my right knee a lot, straighten my left leg all the way up. My shoulders are on that center line. My gaze is up. Take a couple more breaths right there. And then release. Exhale. Halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, fold. All the way up to standing. Big inhale, reach, lengthen, and exhale halfway down. Good, let's do the other side. Left hand across the right foot, right hand reaches up, look up. Left knee's bent, right leg nice and straight. Kicking that hip up really opens up there through the lower part of the back. Bring the top shoulder up and back a little farther. Oh, I'm getting my vitamin D today. It's amazing. Make sure you get outside today. Take another breath. And then release right into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Elbows in tight. Inhale, up dog. Grow a little bit today. Lengthen, top of the head up. Exhale, downward dog. Finish the exhale. Walk, hop, or step. Find the front edge, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. All the way up to standing. Big inhale, reach, lengthen, and hands to your heart. Good. Let's go into tree pose. Kind of shift into your right side. Bring the left leg up above or below your knee. So we just want to make sure that we're not hanging out on the knee. Too much pressure, never good. Open the hips like a book, and then maybe your gaze is down today, arms are open, maybe you're using a wall for a little extra stability. All of those are good. If you can, yesterday we worked on this, bringing the hands together, interlace, push straight up with the palms of your hands pressing straight up. Yeah, so as hard as I'm pushing into my standing foot, I'm gonna push up through the palms of my hands and maybe even a little gaze up. Right up through the hands for 4, 3, belly in, tail down, sternum up, and release. Arms open, let's bring the knee to center and give it a squeeze. So I'm just working on that foundation in the right foot, right? Squeezing the core. And as I hinge forward, I'm gonna work a little bit more on stabilizing through these hips, right? Now, ideally, you'll be able to let go at some point. That's what we're working towards, being able to let go and keep this squeeze of this left thigh up into the chest. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release and inhale. Reach and look up, and exhale, hands to your heart. So let's switch and do the other side. Into the left, come into your tree pose, whatever that looks like today. Above the knee, below the knee, kickstand, all are good. Core muscles in, sternum up, tail down. And just take a few breaths, kind of noticing where you're at today, which is always a reflection of where is our headspace at, right? If there's a lot going on in there, we just want to take a couple of breaths and see if you can settle that down. I'm talking a lot about recognizing the things you can change right now, right? You can change your breath, you can change whether or not you get on the mat every day, right? Even if you don't make it into a class, you can totally just get on your mat for 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah. And then release the arms, bring the knee to center, give it a little squeeze, and then we'll hinge into it. So your belly on your thigh squeezing in, and maybe you can let go, right? Maybe you can let go. Working towards that. And release. Good, big inhale, reach and look up. Lengthen, maybe a little bit of a back bend here. Inhale up, and then exhale, hands to your heart. So we're gonna do that one more time. We're gonna add the extension. So back into the right, left leg is up. Find your tree. What does it look like today? Probably wanna get your tree into the great outdoors today, some point. Take another big deep breath. And again, release the arms, bring the knee in, give it a squeeze, hinge over it. Okay, here we go. Trying to let go and then extend back. Yeah, good. Palms are down, thumbs are pointed away. We're lifting away from the floor. Yeah, a little more in the core, so lifting the core, pushing the sternum forward, and then release. Back into standing, big inhale, reach and look up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Let's switch sides. Find your tree, foundation is in the left. Toes straight down, wherever it is on the leg, toes are straight down, hips open, sternum up, belly in. There you go, set it up. Find your foundation, right? Recognize the things that are changeable right here. You could go to the wall and take some of the balancing challenge out, right? You could deepen your breath. You can change your pattern of thoughts. And release. Arms halfway down, knee to center, pick it up, hinge over it. We're gonna grab it to start with and give it a good squeeze, right? So now I'm building strength in the stabilizers around the hips, so important. Let go and extend, right? And I'm lifting away from the floor, pressing through the heels, standing legs straight, strong, zipped into center line. Sternum a little bit forward. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Right up to standing. Big inhale, reach and look up. Exhale, let's take a little back bend. Remember when we go back, our hips go forward, right? The sternum goes up, the tail goes down. Lengthen. More length, less bend. Inhale, back up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back. Take chaturanga or just skip it and go to downward dog. Inhale, up dog, open. Exhale, downward dog, press back. Good. Wiggle your toes a little bit, shake your head. Bend your knees. Kick the right leg up nice and high. Straight back. And then bend the knee and open it up. So point your knee straight up. But the standing leg straight, strong, zipped into center. Take a big circle with this right knee. Yeah, and change the direction of that. Nice. Now bring your knee straight up the center line towards your nose. Hold it there. Lift your belly. 4, 3, 2, 1. Step. Spin your back foot and come up into first warrior. So our foundation is pretty solid in our feet. Then we're going to try to bring the left side forward, the right side back. Reach and look up. Again, the rotation is pinky fingers in, thumbs out. That rotates our shoulders away from our ears. Sit a little bit lower, drive into that front shin. So your focus is bringing this left side body forward. This right side body surrenders a little bit. Sit into it. Find the work there. Like really find the work. Sit a little lower. Take one more breath. And then release the arms and interlace them. Press straight down. So I'm pulling my shoulders away, down and away. Yeah? The opposite of what they do when we're doing whatever we're doing, right? Rotated, back, shoulder blades towards each other, and then down towards the earth. Squeeze your belly muscles in, and then slide to the inside of your right knee, taking your knuckles nice and high. Your forehead, the top of your head towards the floor. Take a couple more breaths. And release. Hands on either side of that front foot. Step back. Downward dog. Left leg, kick it up. Press through the heel. Bend the knee, spin it open. So the knee goes high. Standing leg straight, strong, zipped in. And then we'll circle. Change direction. Nice. Bring your knee straight up the center. Knee towards the nose. Step between the hands, spin the back foot, and come right up into first warrior. Again, set it up, find your foundation. Now shift, right side forward, left side back, hard and soft. Look up, there's the rotation, find the center. And then deepen the breath. And as you find the work, deepen the breath. And then find a little bit more work and deepen the breath. And when you can't deepen the breath, you've gone into it far enough, right? Then stop, back off a little bit. Make sure you can find the breath. Solid foundation, steady gaze, deep breath. Finish this exhale. Release the arms, interlace, push straight down, roll those shoulders back and down, and then find the floor with your forehead. Yeah, knuckles are high, top of the head is low. I'm not resting on my left leg. And release. Hands on either side of that front foot. Take chaturanga or don't, right? But end up back in downward dog. Good. Hop, step, or walk. Get yourself up there to the front edge of the mat. Halfway lift, create length. And exhale, fold. Good. All the way up to standing. Big inhale, reach, look up. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And exhale, sit in your chair. Good. And then lengthen. And exhale, sit back in your chair. And lengthen. And sit back in your chair. One more like that. Inhale. And we're going to hold this one. Just sit back into your heels. Wiggle your toes a little bit. Shoulders are back over the hips. We're seeing if we can draw these belly muscles in and up. Uddiyana Bandha, right? That hollowing out of the core. Sit a little bit lower, not so low that there's no work, and then pop the heels up. Take the shoulders back even farther. So now my hips are right over my heels, over my toes, shoulders on the top of all of that. 6, 5, ooh, drive those heels up. 3, 2, and 1, forward fold. Let's take a breath here. Shake your head a little bit. And then inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, chaturanga or not, but find downward dog. Inhale, lengthen. Good. And exhale, press back. All right, right leg, big kick. And let's step right between the hands. Spin the back foot and come back up into your first warrior. A little push there into the front shin. And on the exhale, open it up to second warrior. Look straight down the front hand. And let's kind of wiggle our toes and check in. Make sure that our legs, all of our leg, like hips, knees, feet, are on that center line. And then the arms floating above, pits of the elbows pointed up. Sit a little lower. Yeah, and sit a little lower. Good, so we're finding the work. Take another breath. See if you can squeeze the inner thighs just a little bit more. Get a little more rotation here in the shoulder if you can see that, right? Even let's take the thumbs up. Yeah, really work that rotation and then squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Drop into it. And then straighten the front leg. Turn your feet so they're pointed the same direction. So mine's to my left. And then I'm gonna hinge forward just halfway, getting that nice long spine. Top of my head forward, reaching my hands back. Yeah, and get a little bit out of your heels. Take another breath. And then release your right hand to the center. Left hand goes up. I'm gonna try my best here to keep my hips really level, not to let the right hip drop down. So nice and steady. You could put the block up there and it would stay. But taking my left shoulder back as far as I can go. And let's switch sides. So left hand down, right hand up. Get those hips nice and level. Look up. And release. Good work. We're right in the center. We're gonna drop our head. Take a couple of breaths right there. And hands on your hips, come up nice and slow. Turn the front foot back to the front. And here we go, chaturanga, or not. Inhale up, lengthen. Exhale, take it back. Kick your left leg up nice and high. Step between the hands. Spin the back foot. Find yourself in first warrior. Look up. Open it up to second warrior. So let's check in. That center line on your mat. Get your feet, your legs, your shoulders, your arms, your lungs, your ears, everything on that center line. Sit a little lower and find the work. Foundation is solid, gaze is steady down the front hand. Breath is deep, and as we deepen it, deepen your breath, right? Use that as your gauge. You can keep getting deeper into poses until the breath gets a little compromised. Then we want to back off. Yeah, sit a little lower, and then on the inhale, lengthen. Point your feet towards the right, if that's the direction you're on. This time, as we hinge forward, I'm going to take my arms open, but then I'm going to reach for my feet. If you can get a hold of your big toes or the outsides of your feet, great. And then I'm going to pull the top of my head towards the floor. It may or may not touch, that's fine. But I've got a good grip here on my feet. Tail nice and high, spine as long as I can get it. And if your head's touching and you want to bring your hands back to that center line, give a little push there, getting your heels light and coming into headstand, you're welcome to do that. So we want to make sure that we're doing that one step at a time. So the flexibility, right? Lengthening. And then if the head does go down, great, then create the tripod. If you can create the tripod, fantastic. Then a little push forward, right? Engaged in the transverse, right? And then maybe there's a lift, right? And we can work on that, just that ability to lift for years before you actually go up into a headstand. Because once you get past your hips, then it's just easy, right? It's that lower part that's so hard. If you went up, come down exactly the way you went up with grace and control. Spin the front foot. Find yourself in chaturanga to up dog to downward dog. Full exhale. Hop, step, or walk. Find the front edge of the mat. Big inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. All the way up to standing. Big inhale, reach and look up. Nice. Exhale, right back into forward fold. Inhale, create length. Exhale, step back. Chaturanga or head to downward dog. Nice. Right leg big kick and a step between the hands. Right up into first warrior. Find your foundation, reach and look up. Good. Open it up to second warrior. Straighten the front leg. And we're going to work our way into triangle. So we're going to stay on this line, give a little push of the hips back, reach forward, and then come down onto your block or your fingertips or this front shin. And let's see if we can get the shoulders nice and stacked. So a little move of that top shoulder back and into the center line, right? Moving the shoulders back, squeezing the core muscles in, inner thighs, creating long lines. So I'm trying to create as many straight long lines as possible in triangle. Yeah, big deep breaths. Nice. As you release the top hand, slide the back foot forward, and we're going to twist this. So I like to have my stance pretty short, about half of that, what it was in triangle. So as I twist the triangle, my left hand's just in front of my big toe, and there I go, right? Opening it up to the opposite side, look up at the right hand, push your tail back towards the back edge of your mat, trying to get from your tail through your spine, through the top of the head, on that center line, right? Because it wants to be a little skiwampus, and we'll just get everything squeezing into that line. Even if this arm doesn't go up, like the flexibility is not there in the shoulder, then I would suggest you work on bringing your spine into the line first. That's where you're going to get all this beautiful lengthening here. Outer thigh. Typically, we're a little tight there. Release the top hand, and we'll turn this into pyramid. So hands out on the front side of this big toe. If you're using a block or even like a water bottle like that would work, you can put your hands on it and then drop your head right between the biceps. So now my biceps are behind my ears. And I'm taking my nose towards my knee, my forehead towards the shin, creating as much space here as possible. And release. Good work. So we can flow chaturanga, up dog, downward dog, or you can just get to downward dog. You just need to get to the other side. Open it up, squeeze the belly muscles in. All right, kick the left leg up. Step between the hands. Spin the back foot, come up into first warrior. And then open it up to second warrior. Nice. Sit a little lower, find the work, find the line, and then lengthen. Kick the hips back, reach forward, come down into triangle. Your gaze should be up on this one. Unless the balance is really tough for you, then go ahead and look down. But I think you should all be able to quickly here, not today, right away, pretty soon, get your gaze up on this one. If you're struggling with it lots, then I would get your left hand on a block. And then that opening will help. Yeah. Let's take one more big deep breath right there. And release. Top hand goes down, back foot slides forward. And here we go. We're taking this into a twist. The left hand doesn't necessarily have to go up in order to get a really good stretch here. I might have it on my hip, right? And I'm pushing my tail straight back, dropping the right shoulder, lifting the left. Finding that center line. Maybe if it's feeling good today, the left hand goes up and your gaze goes up. Easy release, hands on either side of that front foot. Try to slide them forward. So maybe you're out here, like your hands are together and you're out there. And then dropping your head between the arms as far back as you can. So get your arms, your biceps behind the ears if you can, or go as if. Nose towards the knee, forehead towards the shin. You can get your hands up on a block or a water bottle or whatever you've got there. To get a little bit more length there through the upper part of the back in the lats. But stay on your line, tail stays on the line. And release nice and slow. Bend that front knee, take chaturanga or don't. Find downward dog. And press the heels back. Good, inhale, high plank. Exhale, knees down. We're gonna take a side plank with the bottom knee down and shoulders stacked. Lift through the waistline here a little bit so you feel your side body, waistline, obliques kind of working. Tuck the toes under on this bottom foot. And then we're gonna lift the knee. So whoop, now I'm in my obliques. Take a couple of breaths there, stay there, or kick the leg out in front and just lean back away from it. 5, 4, we're squeezing these core muscles. And release, good work. Take your high plank, drop your knees down, spin to the other side, lift through the waistline, look up. And so the toes are tucked under on my right foot. I'm gonna lift the knee, squeeze through the waist. There's a little lean back here. And then this bottom foot, I'm gonna kick it out in front. And again, lean away from it. Lift through the waist, open your heart. Take a breath, look up. 4, 3, 2, and release. Nice work. Take a chaturanga if you want to. Inhale and exhale. Nice. So go ahead and come back into child's pose, knees wide, big toes together, forehead on the mat. And come back to your breath. All right, come right back up onto all fours. And we're gonna take the right knee behind the left. So we're working our way into cow face pose. And your feet need to be wide, and you might need a block or a book or something, because we're gonna sit back right there between our feet. So the block will definitely help. If that's a little tight here in the booty, right, then you'll wanna get your hips up a little bit. And knees are stacked pretty much one on top of the other. I've got my left leg on the top. So I am gonna take the arms up, right? And I'm gonna take my left hand behind my lower back, or behind my neck here, and my right under and through the lower back. Now I'm gonna try to get my hands together. They might not, maybe they're more like this, right? I'm holding onto the back of my neck and my right is up between the shoulder blades, right? And then I'm gonna slide forward. Or, this is great, just grab the elbow, give it a little squeeze towards center, and hinge forward. Now I'm trying not to get all rounded and squishy, right? I'm gonna get long in my spine, moving my forehead and my chin forward, keeping my tail rooted. So I don't want to teeter-totter on this. I want to stay connected here in my tail as I work this. Yeah, nice and long. Take another big deep breath. And then let's sit back up nice and tall. Release the arms wherever you had them. Lift the sternum, roll back just a little bit, grabbing onto this front foot. So that's my left. And I'm going to take whatever kind of an extension I can get there, whatever I've got, okay? I'm going to hold on with my right hand, so my left leg, my right hand, and then I'm going to deepen that twist, sitting up super tall, getting right onto my line, right? The line on my mat, right? Straight back, so it looks like that. Kicking and reaching, kicking and reaching. Sit up a little bit taller. Take another breath. And as you release, place the foot on the outside of this bottom knee. If you can stay pretty solid, like you're rooted down into your foundation, you're good to go, or deepen the twist. If you need to straighten out this bottom leg, that'll allow you to find your seat again. Hug this knee or get the elbow on the outside. Sit up nice and tall and spin. Again, you're looking back on that center line. But you're using the back hand to sit you up nice and tall. Right? And you can dig into it. You can get into it a little deeper. So find your breath. And as long as you can find your breath, you can continue to deepen the twist. Nice. So as you finish this, exhale and you come back to center. Straighten the legs and give them a shake. Slide back into your tail and come up into your boat. Okay. Toes are pointed, sternum is up, belly is in, right side to left side, right side to left side. Here we go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend. Come down nice and slow. Arms overhead, big inhale. Stretch, and here we go. Reach up, belly in, sternum up, lift and go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend. We're coming down slow. Drive those belly muscles in. Big inhale, lengthen. Let's do it again. Here we go. Reach and go up, belly in, lift. Maybe it's here, maybe it's here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend. Come down slow. Take a big stretch. Slide your knees in tight. Rock all the way up to sitting. Good. All the way back down. All the way up. All the way back down. One more time. This time, as you roll up, cross at your ankles. Come all the way back over onto all fours. Nice work. So this time, we will take the left behind the right. Good. Get your feet nice and wide. And then slowly take it back. Again, get your block or your book in there, whatever is working to help keep you nice and solid on your foundation. Lift the sternum. Yeah, drop the tail. Reach the arms up. So this time I have my right leg on the top. So my right hand's gonna go back there. My left's gonna come underneath. And hopefully I'm gonna get my fingers together or use a strap or a sock or whatever you have there. Or, right, we talked about this is a really good option if that's just not happening today. Then there's this little hinge forward. Trying to keep the spine just nice and long. My nose and my forehead, my chin moving forward, but staying in the foundation here, right? Staying in your tail. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're coming up nice and slow. Release the arms. Sit up nice and tall. Good. Grab onto that front foot. Take whatever extension you've got there. My right leg's forward. I'm going to hold on to the outside of my foot with my left hand. And then my right hand is going straight back on that center line. Sit up nice and tall. I'm going to take my gaze back as well with my right hand. And if you need to use your hand to sit yourself up tall, that's totally fine. Take another breath. Sit up a little bit taller. All right, now as we release, I'm going to put my foot on the outside of the knee like that. Feel free to straighten out the bottom leg to create a better base. Sit up nice and tall, hug the knee in or elbow on the outside. And here's the spin. My backhand is really close to my tail. And then I'm gonna lift the chin, lift the sternum, look up over the right shoulder. Take another breath, sit up a little taller, spin a little farther. I can get into this fairly deep because I've got a little leverage, right? A little push here on the outside of the knee. Take another breath. Spin a little bit farther. And release. Nice work. So we'll unwind, straighten the legs out, give them a little shake. Take your hands back so they're right alongside your hips. We're gonna work, we've kind of been focusing on this rotation of the shoulders today, or the squeezing of the shoulder blades back. So let's just dig into that a little more. So here we go, lift the chest, point your toes, and then lift the hips. And even if it's like that much, I'm gonna take my chin and look up. And then come down nice and slow. Now you might be able to go a lot farther than that. So here we go, let's try again. On the inhale and lift. So here we go, rotate the shoulders, point your toes, lift your hips, drop your head back. And down nice and slow. This time slide your feet in so that your knees are about at a 90 when we go up, about hip width apart. Same thing, so inhale, lift. All right, I'm pushing my hips up. There's the shoulder rotation. Maybe there's a head drop back. Maybe your neck doesn't like that, so you shouldn't do it. Or 3, 2, and down nice and slow. Good work. Cross your right ankle over top of your left knee. So it's sort of a pigeon, right? Same thing. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and lift. Push your hips up. Drop your head back. Come down nice and slow. Now, we're going to hang out here before we go to the other side. So just walk your hands and your hips in a little bit. You can see that my bottom foot is really touching my left glute. So get as tight as you can, and then just drop your forehead towards that front shin. So it looks like this from the side. All right, I'm pretty tight into this. Forehead's dropped. Couple of big deep breaths right there. Now, if there's not a ton going on right there, you could drop this bottom foot over and get into this double seated. So then when you hinge forward, it's the same thing. You're bringing your forehead towards that front shin. Maybe your chin rests on it. Maybe your forearms rest on the floor. But you're coming into that forward fold. Both feet flexed. No wrinkles. No wrinkles in your ankles. That puts a wrinkle in your knee, and we don't want that because that's torquing the knee, right? So nice flat long spine. And just take another breath there. And then come up nice and slow. Alrighty, so we're just gonna uncross and cross over the other way. And my hands again are just behind my hips, fingers pointed towards my toes, thumbs pointed towards each other. 1, 2, 3, lift, shoulders roll open, head drops back maybe, and focusing on the lift of my hips. Down nice and slow. Turn the hands around. Walk it forward. Bow your head a little bit. That's a great pigeon, right? The knees are typically happy. You know, you can get into it pretty deep by anchoring your tail. So it's good to just hang out there. If you're feeling this opening here in this left side, you're good. If you're not feeling anything, you feel like you need to move along a little bit, then just slide that bottom foot over, stack your shins, get your feet flexed, your spine long, your tail rooted, and then hinge forward. So we'll come up nice and slow. Roll back onto your back, getting your feet pretty tight like so. Good, and then a nice slow lift into your bridge. Now you want to kind of squeeze your inner thighs towards center line for sure, right? And then this focus of lifting the hips and rolling into the tops of the shoulders. And let's come down nice and slow. All right, let's do that again. So a little squeeze inner thighs. You can even use the block in there and then lift. Now this time I'm going to take my hands underneath, interlace my fingers, and kind of squeeze my shoulder blades towards each other. Push your hips up super high, strong in your feet. And then we'll come down nice and slow. Good. So now if you want to go up one more time and take it into wheel, do that. Otherwise, do the same thing. Just 1, 2, 3, and lift. Bridge wheel halfway in between the two. Something along the path of that, right? Top of the head. And we'll come down nice and slow. When you get back down here on the mat, go ahead and move your knees to the right and then move them to the left. Now I like my feet really wide for this. I also like to take my arms overhead and I feel this a little more lengthening. I get a little more space in the side body, lower ribs. Good. Now as we get over to the right side, let's hang out there. And I'm going to take my right hand and grab my left big toe and then extend right out to that side. Then roll my shoulder blades back, getting them just as tight into the floor as possible. And just settle with your breathing. Starting to be a little bit more intuitive. Okay, what does your body need today still? What haven't we gotten to? And let's head over to the other side. I'm going to take my left hand, grab the right big toe, take an extension, roll my shoulder blades back. I'm reaching out here with my right hand, and I'm pushing my tail into that center line. And then come back to center. Give your knees a squeeze, take a little rock across your lower back. And then slide your arms on the insides of the knees, catch your feet. Now we're in happy baby pose. So I'm gonna give a little tug here on my feet, but I'm also kicking into my hands. There's the stabilization in the hips and a little rock. Good, and as you stop in the center, you can extend the legs out. Now if you have a wall close by, you can just move over to the wall and get your legs on the wall. Otherwise, this works perfect. I've got a hold of my big toes, or you can have your hands underneath the knees for a little support, or use a strap. All those things work just great. have to say it feels really good out here today in the sunshine. Help the legs back together. Nice strong push of the heels up towards the sky. Now we're gonna go, or I'm gonna go into shoulder stand. If you would like to go into a different inversion, I would encourage you to do that. So I'm just gonna give a little rock here, picking my hips up, pointing my toes towards the sky. And I'm trying to get my shoulders under my hips, under my knees, under my heels, and just creating as much length and space as I can. A little pressure into the tops of my shoulder blades, right? And then that really good tuck of my chin kind of breaks up congestion or anything that's going on there in the lungs, drains the sinuses, all of those good things we need right now as we roll into spring. Well, we're in spring, but as we roll into the allergy season, get a little bit more length here. If you're with me here, if you're in any other inversion, same thing, just kicking up, Get as long as you can, allow the blood to roll towards the heart without any effort. Now, as I release from this, I'm gonna go towards plow. If you're in a different inversion, you might be going towards child's pose. I've been doing this most days to kind of clear things out here. Again, in the sinuses and in all of the lungs, just any congestion that's there. So your feet don't have to go to the floor, right? If you can't take that big deep breath, then that's your cue to back off. So kind of make that your guideline. If you can get here, and you can still take just as big a breath, then great, right? Press into it, right? Break that stuff up that's in there. Let's take a couple more breaths. We've got some geese joining us. I don't know if you can hear that. And then we're gonna roll out of this so slow. If you wanna go legs up the wall, then great. Go find yourself on the wall. Today, out here, I am just gonna go into a traditional Shavasana and get my legs wide, arms open. I have this water bottle that works perfectly for me that I put right along my spine. And anything works, like a rolled up towel or an extra yoga mat that's rolled up really tight. And what it does is it just lifts my spine a little bit. This particular water bottle works perfectly because it's metal and hard. And my head's resting and my tail's resting. And I can just really get open here through the heart, through the front side of the body. And that feels good for me today. And if you have any other things that your body needs to work on, feel free, right? Feel free. And let's just take a couple of minutes to work on settling, finding our breath, and staying with it. That's the hard part, right? Is noticing. So today I'm outside and there's so many things to notice, right? The sounds of someone mowing their lawn, the birds, a little breeze. There's a lot of things. So what's going on in your space? Notice without reaction. Reset on the breathing. So let's take the first few breaths together. So nice, strong exhale, let it all go. And here we go. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Little pause right there. And here's the exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to your inhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. And then just take it on your own. Recognize without reaction. Reset on the breathing. Now, if you'd like to stay there longer, by all means, of course, just mute me and continue on. If you'd like to sit up and move along here with me, rolling to your right side is always nice. And then once you're up into a seated position, just get comfortable. I'm going to go cross-legged today, take my hands to the floor mat, and then just a little shift forward is nice before I take in to that head roll, right ear, right shoulder, chin and nose up, and then over to the other side, chin and nose up. Yeah, I'm going to do that a couple of times each way this morning. Oh, I wish you could all join me here. This is got some serious vitamin D going on, nice and warm. Take your chin down. Take a nice big inhale. Deep into the lower ribs. Pause. Nice, easy exhale. Let's do that again. Inhale. Fill it up and exhale. One more time. Big inhale. Fill up those lower ribs. Take a little pause there, like you're holding your breath, and then just exhale as slowly as you possibly can. Bringing your hands together. Pause there. Take a moment of gratitude.